This is our ninth day here in Europe and our fifth day in Italy. The weather is excellent this time of the day. 6 a.m. Malamig. Sana it remains this way until tomorrow, as this will be the last day of our tour here in Europe. Ang aming itinerary today is to visit Vatican City, which is not far from here. It will take us around 30 minutes to get there. But before leaving, nag-breakfast muna kami. Okay naman ang food ng hotel. Just enough to keep us going. Nasanay na rin kami na walang rice. Paalis na kami dito sa hotel. By my watch, it's 8:15 in the morning. Mataas na ang araw, somewhat gloomy lang, kasi malamig ang panahon. Tahimik sa banda dito dahil hindi ito ang sentro ng Rome. Wala pa masyadong struktura. Kung mayroon man, ito'y mabababa lamang at hindi dikit-dikit. Parang countryside lang sa Pinas. As we go along, masarap lang pagmasdan ang tanawin, ang mga bundok at patag nila. Just like any countryside yata, ganun talaga. Parang napaka-peaceful. Subalit as we enter the downtown area ng Rome, kitang-kita na talaga ang mukha ng siyudad. Naroon na ang mga hanay ng gusali. But what is impressive about this is that they are well arranged in blocks and rows and colorful. On the other hand, maganda rin tingnan the brick color of their houses. Ito talaga ang kanilang pagkakakilanlan. Kahit noong unang panahon pa, brick color na ang mga structures sa Italy. Ito ay dahil mayaman sila sa malapulang lupa. Medium rise lang ang mga buildings dito sa sentro. At katulad lang sa Pinas, maaari ring makaparada ang mga sasakyan sa side streets. Ang pagkakaiba lang ay wala silang enforcers nagbabantay. May machines kasing naka-install strategically dito to ease and to facilitate payment of parking fees. While still inside Rome, nakakatuwang pagmasdan ang mga kulay ng mga gusali at ang architectural designs nito. Mapapatanga ka na lang. They are so exquisite and attractive. At wala dito indication of air pollution dahil ang mga gusaling ito ay walang bakas ng dumi, parang laging bagong pintura. This is the Leonine Walls, the demarcation landmarks that separate the boundary of Vatican City and the city of Rome. Historically, these walls were built to protect the sovereign territory of the Holy See. Part of these walls collocate the so-called Passetto de Borgo, a fortified corridor that connects the Apostolic Palace to the Castel Sant'Angelo, a historical landmark not of Vatican City. This castle was built between AD 134 and 139 for the Roman Emperor Adrian as a mausoleum for him and his family. However, over time, it had served as a fortress for the military and the popes. It was named after the Archangel Michael. This castle belongs to the Republic of Italy under the National Museum Department. It is located beside the perimeter of the Tiber River, one of the longest rivers in Italy, and the demarcation line separating the territorial boundary of Vatican City and the city of Rome. Umikot muna kami dito sa may downtown area ng Rome to get the feel of it before proceeding to Vatican City. This is the Fontana del Niadi, the first fountain in Rome. It was built between 1887 and 1896 by Antonio Rio. And this is the Basilica of Saint Mary Maggiore.
One of the four major basilicas of the city of Roma. The decoration today of the Basilica of the Baroque architecture. Basilica of Saint Mary the Major is dedicated to Maria because it was the first basilica dedicated to Virgin Mary. If you see on the left, it's a line to get inside, it's a security check line, then you can get to see the view of the main facade of the basilica.
Ito naman is the Arch Basilica of Saint John Lateran.
We do have the Basilica of Saint John in Lateran on the left. You see the Basilica of Saint John in Lateran. It's from Alessandro Galilei, the famous main facade, Baroque one. Next the basilica, you have a palace, Palazzo Laterano, Lateran Palace.
This is the obelisk, a stone pillar set up as a monument.
An obelisk, Roman one, do have many, I think it's 15 obelisks today are located in the major squares of the city of Roma, even at St. Peter's Square. It's an obelisk. Most, not all, but most of the obelisks are coming from Egypt and were brought from Egypt to Rome, capital city at that time of the Roman Empire, by the Roman emperors, the leaders of Roma. The Roman Egypt then became a province, Roman province of the Roman Empire. So Egypt got submitted to the Romans at the time of Roman Emperor Augustus. And this is the highest we have in Rome and one of the most beautiful.
Ito naman is the Pontifical Lateran University.
Lateran University. That is an example of a pontifical university. It means that it's a university belonging to the papacy, belonging to the Vatican independent country. That is an example of an extraterritorial properties of the Vatican located outside the Vatican walls.
Ito na, the Colosseum, one of the 7 wonders of the world. By tomorrow, we will go down here to have a closer look at this landmark. Just beside the Colosseum is the Arch of Constantine, dedicated to Emperor Constantine the Great, who won the war over Maxentius at the Battle of Milvian Bridge in AD 312. Ito naman is the St. Paul Basilica. It is the second largest basilica in Rome. It serves as a resting place of St. Paul. It was put up in the 4th century AD during the time of Emperor Constantine I. It is also declared as a UNESCO Heritage Site. The basilica has been renovated and reconstructed several times from the 4th century to the 5th century. However, for every reconstruction undertaken, parts of the columns that were removed have been preserved. The relics are displayed at the right side of the basilica. Strategically, cafe and souvenir shops are co-located along this side of the basilica. Now we are leaving this area, once upon a time the center of the Roman Empire. We can still see the remnants that are well preserved, the walls, the replica of the pyramid, and the tower. The way these were planned with the garden and the rotunda road is very strategic. The surrounding is really appeasing to the eyes. Napakaganda. We are en route to the Vatican. This is the parking area for all tourist buses located underground. Maganda estratehiya ito, considering the thousands of pilgrims visit the Vatican every day. It mitigates traffic jams while providing comfort and convenience to people going to and from the Vatican to see the St. Peter's Basilica and the Vatican Museum, among other attractions. Maliwalas ang aming lakad dito. It's a tunnel exclusive for pedestrians lang. It's clean, cozy, and air-conditioned. Mahaba rin ang aming lakad dito. Ang daan na ito is part of the Caput Mundi Mall, which is under the jurisdiction of the Vatican. Ito na ang alley papuntang St. Peter's Square. Ang daming tao. Mainit na rin ang panahon dito dahil halos tanghali na. Masakit sa balat. Summer season na kasi dito ngayon. Mataas pa ang adrenaline namin, kaya kaya pa namin libutin ang lugar na ito.
Welcome to the area of the Vatican. 1:20 we must leave to walk to the museum. An hour, okay, for lunch. Otherwise, if we get lost and we'll be late, we lose the entrance.
Tight ang schedule namin dito at napakaraming tao. Kaya, we have to follow the instructions of the guide to the dot. Napakainit ng panahon, tagus sa balat, and still we can crack jokes and laugh as we see the wondrous St. Peter's Square and the Basilica. Nakaka-goosebumps talaga.
Are you sure nandyan si Pope? Po, pag-smoke naman tayo po.
Ano sabi?
Mag-smoke daw sila pati si Paul.
Alay mo pumayag.
Nag-smoke naman pala siya.
Since we're given only 1 hour for lunch, we opted to try the steak version of Italy. Kahit may McDo brunch pa dito. Dito talaga kami kumain sa steakhouse kasi si Torn sa Philippines pa lang gusto na niya ng steak. Kahit saan kami pupunta ang hanapin niya steak. Malas-malas lang kami kasi short kami sa panahon. Pagdating namin sa hotel, kahit gusto niya mag-order ng steak doon, wala na kasi alas 10 ng gabi ang dating namin. So ngayon parang natupad na kahit talagang pangarap niya na mag-steak. Kahit mahal pa, basta kumain siya ng steak. Yun nga, mahal lang nga.
We only live once. Diba? We only live once.
Kasi kung hindi namin nahanapin ng steak, maging cranky talaga si Torrance aside na hindi siya enjoy doon sa tour kasi nakakapagod daw. Oo. At saka yung service.
Walang binubuhat na bayong.
Ayan, walang binubuhat na bayong. Buhat kasi kami ng maleta from one
Pwede na kami
hotel to
ilaban
another.
kay Juan Heidelin Diaz.
Oo, pero naku, ganda talaga ng Vatican.
Yayain ko mag-smoke. Malay mo lumabas siya, di ba? Offer ko yung isang kahangpili.
Ayun lang, hindi kami sumama doon sa aming mga kagrupo kasi yung iba nag-McDonald's, hindi ba? Si Torrance talaga, hinanap ko talaga siya kung saan siya makabili ng steak. Kasi kung hindi ko ito pagbigyan talaga parang hindi fulfilled ang travel niya dito. Kailangan talaga siya kumain the best steak daw dito sa Italy. Alam nyo, ang sarap ng Coke dito sa Europe. Pero there's an explanation. Masarap yung Coke sa Zamboanga. Sabi nila, ang difference daw doon sa Coke ng Manila at saka dun sa Zamboanga is the water. Diba? Siguro dito din sa Europe, nagmamatter din yung water. Kung hindi ako pala soft drink, si Torrance pala soft drink siya. Pero nakakadalawa akong blends. Masarap siya. Hindi siya yung parang acidic. Itong location pala namin ngayon ay sa gilid lang ng Vatican Wall na teritoryo na ng Roma. Obviously, puros mga kainan lang makikita dito at uso ang alfresco. May lugar man din kung saan maaari kumain sa loob mismo ng resto. Cozy, clean and tidy. At preference ng mga tao ay kumain sa labas. Kaya kami, in at feel na feel din kung paano kumain ng Italian food. Ito na yung order namin ni Torrance. Yung sa kanya is with fries. So nauna yung sinerve sa akin, siguro mas mabilis ang pagkakat nitong mga vegetables kasi ako with salad. Ayan. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Ayan naman yung kayo. Very soft. Soft. Very soft siya. Ayan o. I-taste ko siya. Sarap.
Sarap?
How did you find your steak?
Yeah.
Mahal. After having our sumptuous meal, tumuloy na kami dito sa souvenir shop, ang meeting place namin with the guide. This store is owned by the Vatican. Para lang ito isang Waterloo Bridge na connecting Vatican and Rome. Maraming mabibili dito. Mahirap lang, we cannot buy anything for now. Kasi papunta pa lang kami sa Vatican Museum. And it is not easy na may bit-bit pa. Kasi hindi namin alam kung gaano kalayo ang lalakarin namin. At hindi namin matansya ang sitwasyon pagdating doon sa sobrang daming tao. We are now on our way to the museum. Super init talaga. Kasi it's around 2 in the afternoon. Mahangin naman dito. Matagos sa balat ang sikat ng araw. Dito pa lang we can already see the volume of visitors coming in and out of the Vatican. Naka 10 minutes na ang lakad namin and we haven't reached the entrance gate pa. Ngunit dumadaan na kami mismo dito sa pader ng museo na napakataas. Ngayon, pumapasok na kami sa queuing area. May exit lane dito at may lane din para sa mga papunta pa lang. After 20 minutes of walking, andito na kami sa may entrance gate area. Ganon kalayo ang nilakaran namin from the St. Peter's Square to here. Ganon karami ang tao dito waiting to get into the museum. Kaya hindi pwede dito pumunta through DIY or do it yourself. Dapat may guide na may access or sanay dito. If not, you will never have the chance to get inside in pronto. Ito, we are now moving in sa museum. Buti lang, it did not take us long to stay outside. Maayos naman ang lahat. Yun lang, punuan din pala sa may lobby. At matindi din ang security check. Walang gamit na bigger than a pouch can be carried inside while touring around the museum. But cameras and cell phones are allowed. Just imagine how much revenue Vatican gets from the entrance fees. Gayunpaman, libre naman ang mga bata 7 years old and below, disabled visitors and their companions, directors of museum institutions, teachers in the field of archaeology, art, history, architecture, and ethnology. Very convenient pagpasok namin dito kasi may sistema. What we have to do is just follow the instructions of the guide and be patient kasi it is a long walk pa by stairs. Although, may escalator naman and by floor. These are grounds and hallways to the museum. From here, we can already see some sculptures of important personalities of ancient times. Now we are entering one of the courtyards of the Vatican, known as the Cortile della Pigna, or the Courtyard of the Pine Cone. It serves as a place where visitors can rest amidst their museum exploration. It also houses the sculpture of Arnaldo Pomodoros da Spera con Spera, which represents Earth and Christianity. This is the Chiaramonti Museum that houses extensive collection of Greek and Roman sculptures dated from the 5th century BC to the 3rd century AD. The museum is named after Pope Pius VII. It is not easy to move around dito. Grabe ang volume ng tao. Pwede na kami magpalitan ng mukha. Kaya forward lang ang galaw namin dito. It is hard to get pictures and videos of what we see here. This is the Pio Clementino Museum. It is the heart of the antique sculpture collection of the Vatican. It is one of the first buildings ever designed to be a museum of arts. It dates back during the time of Clement XIV and Pius VI. This is the octagonal courtyard, once known as the Cortile del Statue. It is one of the most beautiful courtyards in Vatican City. It is named after its 8-sided shape. It is the oldest part of the museum. Ito naman is the Sala delle Muse, or Hall of the Muses. It was opened in 1784 during the time of Emperor Adrian. It is part of the Pio Clementino Museum. The sculptures displayed here, among others, are that of Apollo, Athena, and Hermes. This is the Sala Rotunda, or the Round Room, also part of the Pio Clementino Museum. It was designed by architect Michelangelo Simonetti in 1779 with the hemispherical vault as the architectural attraction. It also displays colossal statues in niches. Still part of the said museum is the Sala degli Animali. This was set up under Pope Pius VI in the 18th century as a stone zoo. Dito pa rin sa museum na ito ay ang Sala a Croce Greca or the Greek Crossed Hall. Architect Simonetti also designed and constructed this hall during the pontification of Pope Pius VI Braschi. Ito naman is the Gallery of Statues and Busts, still within the Pio Clementino Museum. Between 1776 and 1778, Pius VI extended the museum space westward and entrusted the decorations of the vaulted ceilings to painter Cristoforo Unterperger. This is the Galleria degli Arazzi, or the Gallery of Tapestries. Artist Rafael Sanzio designed these artworks in the 16th century, where the life of Jesus Christ and the Acts of the Apostles are illustrated here. This is the most stunning room in Vatican Museum, the Galleria del Carte Geografiche, or the Gallery of Maps. It was created in 1578 during the time of Pope Gregory XIII. the person responsible for the current calendar and idea of leap year. The gallery was decorated by friar and geographer Ignacio Danti. The gallery measures 100 meters long with geographical maps of various Italian regions on the walls. The ceilings are also made of frescoes depicting significant events of Christianity. This was created by a group of Mannerist artists including Cesare Nebbia and Gerolamo Musciano. Ito naman is the Apartamento di San Pio V. It is decorated with Flemish tapestries from the 15th and 16th centuries, and the frescoes was done by Giorgio Vasari and Federico Zuccari. We are now entering the Sala Sobieski, named after the large painting in the room created by Polish artist Jan Matejko in 1883. The painting depicts the victory of the Polish King Giovanni III over the Turkish troops in the Battle of Vienna in 1683. Next to this room is the Sala del Immaculata, or the Hall of Immaculate Conception. It features frescoes depicting the life of the Virgin Mary. Specifically, the frescoes include discussion of Mary conceived without sin, proclamation of dogma, coronation of the Virgin by Pope Pius IX, and other Bible stories. Ito naman is a portion of the Stanze de Raffaello, or the Raphael rooms. Actually, there are 4 rooms, but we skip the rest as we are already on our way to the Sistine Chapel. The rooms are described as the grand fresco sequences that define the high Renaissance in Rome. It also blends the spirit of antiquity and Christianity, reflecting themes of theology, philosophy, jurisprudence, and the poetic arts. We do not have any photos or videos inside the Sistine Chapel, as this is prohibited due to the sensitivity and delicacy of the paintings. Sa sobrang daming tao, most were simply standing and looking at these works of art for a brief of 5 minutes. Ganon kahalaga ang chapel na ito. However, only artists are the ones who would truly appreciate Michelangelo's masterpiece. As it has now become dull and faded, it remains original. Ito naman is a chapel of St. Pius V. It is one of the private chapels of the Vatican Palace. The fresco cycle was executed by Giorgio Vasari and assisted by Jacopo Succi. Most of the decoration is Gotesquerie, and the architectural forms hint at early Baroque. The frescoes are in Saturine Mannerist style, in pastel shades. Next to this room is a Sala degli Ederisi, or the Room of Tributes. This is part of the Christian Museum. Its name stems from its role in displaying tributes sent to Leo XIII and Pius X during Benedict XV papacy in 1914 to 1922. The room showcases silverwares, ivories, enamels, vestments, chalices, and crosses. Still part of the museum is the Sala dei Paperi. Its name derives from the homonymous documents associated with the Church of Ravenna. The room contains collection of papyrus scrolls, which were discovered in the Villa of the Papyri in Herculaneum, part of southern Italy. The villa was part of the ancient Roman estate. And the third part of the museum is the Hall of the Christian Museum. It was constructed between 1756 and 1758 by architect Paolo Pozzi. The paintings were done by Stefano Pozzi, while the sculptures by Pietro Pasili. On the other hand, the walnut cabinets were crafted by Giovan Battista Perecoli and Antonio Ravasi. Additionally, this part of the hall also displays the vestments of the past popes. Overlooking from the side of the museum, we can see one of the beautiful gardens of Vatican. It is so appealing to the eyes. Ito naman is the Gallery of Urban VIII. It is part of the Biblioteca Apostolic Vaticana, or the Vatican Library. This gallery celebrates the cultural and political profile of Pope Urban VIII. Next in the row is the Salle Sistine. And we have the Salle Pauline. This is the Salon Sistino, a patchwork bridge connected to the adjacent wing of the Vatican Museum. Ito naman ay ang Sala Alessandrina. Finally, this is the Profane Museum, covering 4 galleries and the whole of the Profane Museum. In 1761, Clement XIII authorized the construction of the first museum collection of profane antiquities for exhibit of the sanctuary arts, the Instrumentum Domesticum that includes cameos, ivories, cracked crystals, and bronzes, and until the early 19th century, the Papal Numismatic collections. After more than 2 hours, natapos din ang pag-ikot namin dito sa Vatican Museum at palabas na kami dito ngayon using the popular Bramante staircase or the Scala Elocaidale Momo. This is considered an architectural marvel designed originally by Donato Bramante for Julius II. However, this was improved with a double helix by Giuseppe Momo in 1932. Pabalik na kami sa St. Peter's Square. Mag-alas 5 na ng hapon. Nagpipicture-picture na lang kami dito ulit dahil wala na kaming time to get inside the St. Peter's Basilica. The reason, the bus driver cannot go beyond the service hours as agreed upon with the travel agency. Kaya, hanggang dito na lang kami sa labas ng Basilica. Okay na ito to some of us kasi exhausted na rin kami. So what have I learned today? We all know that Vatican City is a state, very small one in terms of geographical area. It measures only 49 hectares. It is a landlocked ecclesiastical state and an enclave within Rome. And it is a government, but what I saw in here, everything is a reflection. It is not about religion. It is all about heritage. Heritage that tells stories about history, arts, architecture, economy, ecology, government, human behavior, and how it evolves through time. It is a heritage showcasing lessons to fill in the puzzle on how we want the world to be a better place to live in, for us and for the next generations to come. It is a heritage that also steers economic activities and generates employment, not only within the Vatican but also in Rome, due to the number of pilgrims and tourists coming into the city, which accounts to 5 million visitors. It really pays to preserve cultural heritage and national treasures.